Chapter 429 Kang Wutong. Dai Luolai shook his head and said, I don't know. Didn't I tell you earlier that he's very mysterious? He can only find me. I can't find him. He has never even let me see his true appearance. Dad, surely he's not a bad guy, right? Dai Hao nodded and laughed bitterly. Of course he's not a bad guy. I know this person you're talking about. From your description of him, he should be the person who saved me twice now. So it turns out that he's your teacher. No wonder. Perhaps he saved me because of you. Not only is this person mysterious, but he's also very powerful. If your teacher finds you again, you must help me express my gratitude to him. If he's willing, I even want to thank him face to face. He saved your life twice. Dai Luolai was shocked. Although he couldn't believe that the mysterious guy his father mentioned was his own elder brother, he still believed that Hua Yuao was capable of saving his father twice. Elder brother, why do you have to be like that? Why aren't you willing to reunite with him? Hua Yuao naturally wouldn't reunite with the White Tiger Duke. He would not do so before he believed he was strong enough. By the time he reached Shrek City, it was already noon. Shrek City's reconstruction was in full swing. From afar, a lot of construction work could be seen, especially the Spirit Pagoda, which was near the Great Stardow Forest and undergoing a grand construction. Hua Yuao didn't even return to the Tang sect first, but immediately went to Shrek Academy. He wanted to pass the information on to Elder Sun for him to make a decision. Even though he was one of the members of the Sea Gods Pavilion, Hua Yuao didn't fly directly into the academy. He stopped outside the gate before briskly walking into the academy. It was lesson time now. The academy was empty. After passing the statues of the members of the first generation Shrek 7 monsters and Golden Triangle, Hua Yuao came to the lakeside of the Sea Gods Lake. It was only then that he rose into the air before riding the waves towards the Sea Gods Island. The expansion of Shrek City was a good thing for Shrek Academy. Furthermore, the relationship between Shrek and the Great Stardow Forest was unprecedentedly harmonious because of the Spirit Pagoda. Even though the beast tide had caused huge losses to both parties, it had been months since students from Shrek Academy had entered the forest to hunt for soul beasts. The Great Stardow Forest was very pleased regarding this. To them, this was a demonstration of Shrek Academy's sincerity. Of course, more students were obtaining spirits through the establishment of the Spirit Pagoda and under the cooperation of both parties. Without a doubt, they were the greatest beneficiaries of the Spirit Pagoda. As he stepped onto Sea Gods Island, a sense of familiarity swept over Hua Yuao. The refreshing air lessened his anxiety. It's great to be back home. It'd be nice if Donga was still around. If Donga were around, and there was no more hatred, I could just live with her on this island. Our days would be so happy. Donga. Donga. Suddenly, Hua Yuao's eyes widened. He couldn't believe it as he looked forward, and his body started to shake uncontrollably. This is... A young lady was walking towards him. Her eyes were powdery blue, and her eyelashes were long and curly. She was very slender, and her long, powdery blue hair flowed behind her hand. She was dressed in a white dress that accentuated her ravishing looks. She looked like a goddess. Donga. Hua Yuao exclaimed. As he was overly agitated, his voice sounded very high. In the next instant, Hua Yuao used his instant teleportation and appeared in front of this young lady. He opened his arms and tightly embraced her. Hua Yuao hadn't expected to see Wang Donga again under such a circumstance and at such a time. All his worries and anxiety disappeared at this moment. All his emotions and yearning erupted. His tears flowed uncontrollably, and his vision had already turned blurry from all the tears. The young lady stood where she was. She seemed to have been stunned by the sudden embrace that she had received. Donga, Donga, Donga. Hua Yuao's tears dripped onto and slipped off her wavy, powdery blue hair. They seemed to add a glow to it. Are you courting death? An embarrassed voice sounded. Immediately after this, Hua Yuao felt as if the person he was hugging had turned into an active volcano. She unleashed a massive force and broke free from his embrace. Following this, Hua Yuao saw the fury in her eyes. Her thin and slender hand reached out for his chest. Hua Yuao subconsciously used his ghost shadow perplexing track to avoid the terrifying force that was coming towards him. At the same time, he used his hands to block in front of him. Bang! Vigorous soul power was unleashed. Hua Yuao felt an aura of light filled with strength sweeping towards him. It was like huge waves were crashing in front of him. After he fused with Wang Qiu as a sacrifice, he had inherited part of her golden dragon's strength. However, he was still forced back more than 10 steps, as he wasn't prepared for Wang Donga's palm. A gap opened between them, and Hua Yuao was a little stunned. He couldn't believe that Wang Donga had made a move against him. She wore a fierce look on her face, and her soul rings rose from her feet. 6 of them were black and 1 was red. She had 7 soul rings of unbelievable colors. However, Hua Yuao wasn't astonished by the lights from her soul rings. He seemed intoxicated as he stared at her. He didn't blink at all, and tears still streamed from his face. The young lady was also stunned when she saw the tears on his face, but as she unleashed her martial soul, a pair of huge dragon wings opened up behind her. The color of her dragon wings was extremely dazzling. There was a bright blue glow close to her back that extended towards the sides. As it extended, it slowly changed from blue to gold. The edges of her dragon wings were extremely weird. They were wavy like butterfly wings, and also exuded a dim golden glow. There was a bright golden trident rune on her forehead, which started flashing. She grew slightly taller, and her dominant aura turned the space behind her into a bluish gold ocean. She had already lifted her right hand towards Hua Yuao. Her face was very cold, and there was an embarrassed look in her eyes. It was evident that she was cross that Hua Yuao had hugged her earlier. She even felt that she was being squeezed right now, which made her feel weird. An intense bluish gold light formed on her palm, and her second soul ring lit up. The dazzling bluish gold lights adopted the form of a whirlpool, and a terrifying sense of suppression instantly locked onto Hua Yuao's body. Hua Yuao became more clear-headed when he was subjected to this heavy pressure. As he looked at the young lady's eyes, he shuddered. You aren't Donga. He was sure that Wang Donga wouldn't look at him like this. Just as he was speaking, the young lady had already slapped her right hand towards him. A ball of blinding bluish gold light carrying the sound of a low-pitched dragon roar surged towards his chest. As this ball of bluish gold light was unleashed, the bluish gold glow behind her also surged and turned into countless streaks of light that suppressed Hua Yuao from all directions. A strong sense of restraint engulfed Hua Yuao. She's so strong. She's definitely not Donga. However, I can feel a trace of Donga in her strength. While he thought of this, Hua Yuao also moved. He also lifted his right hand. His 3 red and 4 orange soul rings shone brightly. His first soul ring flashed, and his right hand was covered in diamond ice crystals. Every crystal was shining extremely brightly, helping him block the ball of bluish gold light. The moment that ball of light touched Hua Yuao's right hand, streaks of light were deflected by the ice crystals in all directions. Only a portion of them managed to take effect against him. The diamond ice crystals quickly spread across Hua Yuao's entire body, blocking the suppression and shockwaves that came as the ball of bluish gold light blew apart. It was the first soul skill of the Ice Jade Empress Scorpion, Ice Empress Armor. A layer of dim azure light was also released from Hua Yuao's body, preventing the restraint from affecting him. What? The young lady was stunned that her attack didn't have much effect. Her eyes flashed again, and the lights from her other soul rings also started to surge. Stop. We might have a misunderstanding, Hua Yuao hurriedly said. Whether this young lady was Donga or not, how would he be willing to lay his hands on her? The young lady retracted her bluish gold light slightly, but she still seemed as unfriendly as ever. Misunderstanding. How dare you violate me and claim that it's a misunderstanding? Her voice was crisp and captivating. However, she indeed sounded different from Wang Donga. She was more arrogant than Wang Donga, and she was also colder. However, they were equally sweet. Hua Yuao was simply too familiar with Wang Donga, so he could differentiate between them. Hua Yuao laughed bitterly. I'm sorry, I might have recognized you wrongly. You look too much like my friend. That's why I... The young lady was still furious. Can you just hug me whenever you want just because I look like her? I don't believe that anyone looks like me. Ever since I came to this Exum Academy, many people have told me that I look like someone, but I'm me. The rest are fine. They only comment that I look like that person. But you've offended me and even hugged me. If I don't like you today, I won't be appeased. As she spoke, the bluish gold light from her body became stronger, and she lifted her right hand towards Hua Yuao again. Hey, it's really a misunderstanding. Hua Yuao was also confused. From the details, this young lady was indeed not Wang Donga. However, they looked too alike. Wang Qiu and Wang Donga had been lookalikes because of Wang Qiu's transformation ability as the auspicious Emperor Beast. However, what was with this young lady? From her long, wavy hair, it wouldn't be wrong to say that she looked like Wang Qiu. Remember, my name is Kang Wutong. The young lady shouted and pointed her toes to the ground. Behind her, a pair of dragon wings opened up, and she was lifted into the air. Her first soul ring shone, and her wings fluttered. The arcs that she created as her wings moved instantly shone with a strong, golden glow. The golden glow was like water, and her sharp aura caused a tearing sound in the air. As she fluttered her wings, she charged towards Hua Yuao. Words were of no use right now. He had to deal with her attack first. He pointed his toes to the ground and quickly retreated. At the same time, his body shone with deep blue light, and the little snow lady separated from his body. The little snow lady's figure twisted slightly in the air, and a streak of deep blue light flashed. It was Hua Yuao's unparalleled chill, Emperor Sword. The little snow lady's appearance instantly caused the surrounding temperature to drop significantly. Ever since Hua Yuao had fused with the star Anna's mysterious ice grass, his ultimate ice had improved and was now even closer to absolute zero. Tang Wutong was affected by the extreme chill in the air, and her movements were delayed slightly. However, the bluish gold light from her body also instantly became stronger. She swept out her dragon wings to resist Hua Yuao's unparalleled chill. A crisp note echoed out, and Tang Wutong descended from the sky. A strong chilling wave quickly spread towards her body through her wings. The strength of ultimate ice was displayed at this moment. However, Tang Wutong was also quite impressive. As she shouted, a layer of strong golden sparks rose from her body, and the ultimate ice from Hua Yuao's unparalleled chill wasn't able to continue seeping into her. After he forced Tang Wutong back with his sword, Hua Yuao also quickly retreated. He wasn't just an assault type soul master, but also a control type soul master. Widening his gap with his opponent was a better way for him to fight. However, it was very difficult for him to fight right now. He couldn't bring himself to lay his hands on Tang Wutong, as she looked too much like Wang Donga. A distorted glow rippled around his body. He quickly unleashed his spiritual interference, which caused everything around him to turn unclear. A strong chill continued to surge forth in the area. The little snow lady drifted behind Hua Yuao, and he unleashed his snowy dance of ultimate ice. Large patches of snowflakes surrounded Hua Yuao's body and quickly engulfed both him and Tang Wutong with the help of his spiritual interference. Under Hua Yuao's deliberate control, his snowy dance of ultimate ice didn't cover a huge region. However, the temperature in this region instantly dropped to negative 100 degrees Celsius, even though Hua Yuao was deliberately controlling the temperature. Otherwise, it would have been even lower. Tang Wutong suddenly felt as if she were trapped in this domain. However, she didn't panic, and her eyes shone brightly. On her forehead, the golden trident ring shone silently once again, adding a layer of golden light to her eyes. Tang Wutong let out a sonorous dragon roar. As she stood in place, a suit of bluish gold armor silently surfaced on her body. This armor was made of blue diamond-shaped dragon scales and outlined her slender figure perfectly. The pauldrons were especially long, poking out from both sides of her shoulders. Her dragon wings expanded and looked even more bluish gold. A huge, golden V-shaped beam of light flashed along the part of the armor covering her belly. There were even butterfly patterns spreading out. Her uniform adopted the shape of waves, just like the edges of her dragon wings. Glaring, bluish gold light surged and resisted the chill coming from Hua Yuao's snowy dance of ultimate ice. This was her fourth soul skill, Dragon God's Possession. Tang Wutong's dragon wings suddenly sat close together and rose up high behind her. Bluish gold light shone very brightly on her as she unleashed her Dragon God's Possession. All traces of her suddenly disappeared. Following this, a large bluish gold blade more than 10 meters long and several meters wide suddenly appeared and slashed towards Hua Yuao's head. His spiritual interference didn't have any effect on her. This was her third soul skill, Radiant Dragon God Slash. As it was strengthened by her Dragon God's Possession, her Radiant Dragon God Slash suddenly became extremely powerful. Before the snowflakes in Hua Yuao's snowy dance of ultimate ice touched the sharp blade of light, they were already crushed into powder and scattered in the air. Hua Yuao was also revealed in his domain, facing the blade directly. However, something happened that left Tang Wutong stunned. Hua Yuao didn't dodge as he faced her attack. Furthermore, he actually shut his eyes and slowly punched his right fist out against her sharp blade. For some reason, Tang Wutong couldn't bear to harm Hua Yuao when he punched his fist out. She even experienced a very weird feeling and subconsciously lessened the might of her attack. If Hua Yuao was unable to resist her attack, she could still retract it in time. After all, there wasn't any deep enmity between the two of them. Although she was cross that Hua Yuao had hugged her, she didn't have the intention of killing him. Clang! When Hua Yuao's right fist clashed against her Radiant Dragon God Slash, the huge blade stopped in midair. Following that, the diamond ice crystals formed from Hua Yuao's ice empress pinsel were rapidly crushed, revealing his naked right hand. However, layers of golden light also spread from Hua Yuao's right fist towards Tang Wutong's Radiant Dragon God Slash, just as the two of them clashed against each other. An indescribable and inexplicable feeling was in the air. It was a combination of sorrow and boundless remembrance. While Hua Yuao's fist had stopped, his emotions continued to surge. It was his fist of remembrance, a fist that contained a surging feeling of remembrance. Tang Wutong's light projection instantly retracted, and she did a reverse somersault in midair before landing on the ground. When her feet touched the ground, she staggered 2 steps back before she managed to stabilize herself. She could only feel that there were countless images flashing across her mind, and she was suddenly filled with immense sadness. Hua Yuao didn't stagger back, but fresh blood dripped from his right fist. Before it landed on the ground, it turned into beads of blood red ice under the effect of his ultimate ice. As these beads of ice landed on the ground, they were crushed into red powder and scattered everywhere. When he opened his eyes again, his eyes were filled with boundless remembrance and gentle feelings. It was like the wound on his right fist didn't belong to him. Donga, it's you. You are my Donga. Hua Yuao muttered to himself. The words of Newtian, the clear sky sect leader, echoed in his mind right now. Donga is fine. She has been treated by her father. However, she's no longer Donga. She has lost a portion of her memory. While Tang Wutong was unable to recognize him now, there were signs of Donga in her abilities. When she unleashed her Dragon God's Possession, the V-shaped radiant butterfly goddess glow that appeared on her dragon wings was continuously telling Hua Yuao things. She's Donga. She's Donga, but she's changed her name and forgotten who I am. Tang Wutong jerked a little, and she took a while to recover from the intent of Hua Yuao's fist of remembrance. When she looked at him again, there was a horrified look in her eyes. What did you do to me? Hua Yuao shook his head gently. I didn't do anything to you. You only sensed the remembrance in me. Tang Wutong had a wary look in her eyes as she snorted. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't let me see you again. After she said that, her dragon wings opened up again, and she rose into the air before flying towards Sea God's Lake. Hua Yuao's expression turned gentler as he watched her back. Donga, have you really forgotten me? Even if you have, so what? I'm willing to pursue you again and bring you close to me again through my love for you. You'll definitely see me in the future, and you'll keep seeing me. No matter what, I won't let you leave my side again. I'll use my life and everything to protect you. Donga, whether you're Wang Donga or Tang Wutong, you'll have to be my wife. Tears once again flowed from his eyes. However, they were blissful tears now. Wang Donga had gone into a deep sleep. Wang Qiu sacrificed herself, and Shrek was attacked by a beast died. This series of heavy blows had polished his heart. He had concealed his internal weakness and tried to face everything resiliently. However, he was still human. When he saw his younger brother Dai Luolai and sensed the warmth of kinship, his cold and resilient heart melted a bit. And right now, everything in the world seemed to be filled with life and everything turned beautiful as he saw Tang Wutong, who had to be Wang Donga. How is she? Did you manage to tell anything? A benevolent voice asked. Hua Yuao turned around and saw Elder Sun. Elder Sun walked towards him slowly and chortled. She doesn't recognize you anymore. However, it's really still her. Hua Yuao also smiled and quickly rubbed the tears off his face. Yes, even if she doesn't admit it and has forgotten me, she's still my Donga. This is a fact that can't be changed. I'll make her remember me. Elder Sun smiled. She came to Shrek a week ago to interview for a teaching role. Every one of us was stunned when we saw her and thought that she was Donga. However, she said that she's not Donga, but Tang Wutong. She doesn't know anyone called Wang Donga. She's very different from Donga in many aspects, including her martial soul. However, I can clearly see Donga's shadow on her. I remember you mentioned that Donga was in a deep sleep. Did you go and find her? Hua Yuao nodded and recounted his encounter with the Clear Sky sect. Elder Sun retracted the smile on his face and furrowed his brow slightly before saying, if this is the case, she should be Donga. It's just that. Did you sense traces of Donga on her? There's also Kiua's. Kiua's? Huru Yua shook a little, and quickly recalled the situation when he had fought Tang Wutong earlier. He recalled her strength, and her martial soul. As the saying goes, the person on the spot is baffled, while the onlooker sees clearly. Elder Sun's words quickly alerted him. If Huru Yua had to describe Tang Wutong's martial soul, he would have to say that it was a combination of Wang Qiu's golden dragon and Wang Dong's radiant butterfly goddess. How is that possible? Donggo is the young sect leader of the Clear Sky sect, while Qiu is the auspicious emperor beast. How is it possible that? Elder Sun had a thoughtful look on his face as he said, it seems unbelievable, but Wang Qiu is the auspicious emperor beast. She controls the power of destiny. Is it possible that her feelings continued to exist with her spirit after she died, and the strength of her spirit managed to fuse with Donggo? As a result, Donggo woke up and reached her current state. Yuao, you must understand how magical martial souls are. Even after thousands of years of research, our academy is still unable to solve some riddles. For example, why do humans have martial souls, and under what conditions do martial souls mutate? How are martial souls inherited? Through a person's father or mother? All these seem like simple questions, but no one has the exact answer to them. There is nothing impossible in this world. However, I'm afraid you'll need to find out the answer to Tang Wutong's secrets by yourself. Oh, thanks. No matter what, I'll find out what happened to her. Elder Sun, I rushed back because I have something important to report to you. Elder Sun immediately turned serious. Are you talking about the Sun Moon Empire starting the war so abruptly? Were you in the Style Luo Empire? Huru Yua nodded and replied, yes, I wasn't just in the Style Luo Empire. I was even at a place not far from the Mingdo mountain range. Elder Sun lifted his hand and stopped him from speaking further. He said, let's return to the Sea God's Pavilion first. After they reached the Sea God's Pavilion, Huru Yua greeted the Golden Tree by bowing as usual, before following Elder Sun in. The two of them sat at the conference table normally used for meetings on the first level. Huru Yua started to describe everything that he had seen and heard after arranging his thoughts. At the same time, he concealed his relationship with the White Tiger Duke, and didn't talk about how he had saved him. He only described the situation of the war. Elder Sun turned grim as he listened to Huru Yua's words. Elder Sun furrowed his brow and said, they created a diversion, and their target was actually the Heavenly Soul Empire. We haven't received any news from the Heavenly Soul Empire yet. They have the support of the body sect over there. Perhaps it won't be so easy to take them down. Huru Yua laughed bitterly. I hope so, too. However, only the Sun Moon Empire's Soul Engineer legions were present when they attacked the Style Luo Empire. The Holy Ghost Church was missing. I was a little skeptical at that time. After I tried to figure things out, I realized that it's likely that the body sect will face the Holy Ghost Church. The Holy Ghost Church has the Dragon Emperor Zhuo Long Xiaya and many other evil soul masters. If they really fight the body sect, I'm afraid the body sect might be unable to resist them. Furthermore, I don't think the Heavenly Soul Empire is even comparable to the Style Luo Empire in terms of strength. They won't be able to last long if they are really embroiled in a fight. The Sun Moon Empire doesn't have only 3 Class 9 stationary soul cannons. The situation is very dire now. Elder Sun, should our academy? Elder Sun said, wait here. I'll immediately call for a conference. Okay. Elder Sun stood up, and a strong layer of yellow light shone from his body. Suddenly, the entire pavilion rippled with a layer of dim golden light. Outside the Sea God's Pavilion, the golden tree shone brightly, and golden halos started to undulate. Formless spiritual undulations, and the special aura of the golden tree started to spread out. Figures swiftly and silently entered the Sea God's Pavilion. The first to arrive were all the elders who lived in the Sea God's Pavilion. Elder Song, Elder Zhuang, and the rest quickly streamed down from the high levels. Elder Song couldn't help but ask when she came to the first level, Elder Sun, what's going on? Didn't we just have a conference yesterday, and decide to continue observing the war? Why is there another conference today? Before she finished speaking, she saw Huru Yua standing up. As she focused on him, she understood that Huru Yua must have brought back some new information. Elder Song, Elder Zhuang. Huru Yua took a few steps forward and greeted all the elders respectfully. At this moment, Zhang Lisan had already rushed over. As she entered the Sea God's Pavilion, she also greeted all the elders. Following this, Yan Xiaosh, Shen Liner, Chen Juojuo and Kai Mai also arrived. Apart from the Tang sect leader Bei Bei, who was given a seat at the table in the Sea God's Pavilion, the rest had already arrived. Zhang Lisan looked much more capable now compared to before. Furthermore, she had forgotten all her past feelings after her experience in the Yin Yang Love Querying Valley, and appeared to be much more cheerful now. However, she still hadn't found a partner yet. She was too outstanding, such that there were only a few people who dared to pursue her. Before Huru Yua left the last time, he had heard that it wouldn't take long before she reached rank 90. She would become the youngest titled dueler in Shrek Academy to date. Eldest senior sister, Huru Yua also greeted Zhang Lisan. She smiled and said, I heard from Bei Bei that you went out to Rome. Do you know? There's a new person in our academy who looks just like Donggo and Qiuer. Come to think about it, we're all confused. She insists that she's Tang Wutong. Furthermore, the weird thing is that her martial soul is different from Qiuer and Donggo. Yuao, do you know what's going on? Huru Yua laughed bitterly as he shook his head. He replied, I have no idea. I'm trying my best to understand what's going on, too. Just as they were speaking, Bei Bei also finally arrived. When the golden tree made a summoning call, an elder would be able to sense it immediately, as long as they were in the area. While Bei Bei was slightly late, it was because he was further away than the rest. Bei Bei was startled to see Huru Yua. He quickly greeted the rest of the elders before sitting down beside Yuao. He softly said, Little Junior, you're here because of Tang Wutong, right? Who told you? We wanted to tell you, but we couldn't find a way of communicating with you. Huru Yua laughed bitterly. Elder Senior, I'm really not here for her. However, I've already met her. Let's talk about her after the conference. All right, Bei Bei nodded. Elder Sun coughed and turned everyone's attention to him. Since everyone is here, we'll start. Yuao, will you recount what you said to me earlier to everyone? Yes. Huru Yua began with how he had joined the Style Luo Empire's military. He avoided talking about his purpose for joining, and mainly talked about what had happened after the Sun Moon Empire started the war. Just like Elder Sun, the rest of the elders turned serious after listening to him. Shrek City and Shrek Academy had been developing significantly because of the Spirit Pagoda. If this continued, the academy would reach new heights very soon, and the influence of the academy on the continent would grow even stronger. However, the Sun Moon Empire had started a war at this time. Furthermore, they had even ferociously destroyed the Style Luo Empire's northwestern defense line. Right now, they had adopted war strategies, and were likely to be threatening the Heavenly Soul Empire already. Shrek City was now located at the center of the junction between the 3 empires of the Dual continent. Once the situation became unfavorable for the Heavenly Soul Empire, Shrek City was likely to be implicated, too. After all, Shrek City was located within the territory of the Heavenly Soul Empire. Elder Sun gestured to Huru Yua to take his seat. After that, he looked at the other elders. Everyone, please tell me your opinions. What do you think the academy should do regarding this situation so that we can stabilize it? Elder Song said, the situation now is still unclear. The information that Yuao has brought back should be accurate. However, we don't know to what extent the Heavenly Soul Empire is involved in the war. While the strength of the Heavenly Soul Empire isn't comparable to the Style Luo Empire, they are still one of the 3 empires of the Dual continent. They also have a strong foundation and the help of the body sect. Even if the Sun Moon Empire invades them, I reckon that the Heavenly Soul Empire should be able to hang on for some time. Currently, we should maintain the status quo as a means of dealing with all the changes around us. At the same time, we should speed up our own development and try our best to obtain information from the front line before we decide what to do. After hearing Elder Song's words, many of the elders nodded their heads in approval. Yan Xiaosh also said, I agree with Elder Song's opinion. After experiencing the beast tide earlier, the academy has also been greatly affected. Although we've attracted many outstanding talents from the various empires of the continent to join us because of our Spirit Pagoda, we still need some time to consolidate everything. Given the academy's current situation, I also feel that we shouldn't rush to get involved in the war. Personally, I feel that we should increase our focus on our Soul Tool department and the Tang sect. In addition, we should make it a priority to equip the Shrek City Defense Army and establish our own Soul Engineering Legion. Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below with suggestions on what novels to read.